So here I am, it's Saturday morning, 5th of April. It's been about a month, 4 weeks since Tropical Cyclone Alfred hit. I'm dropping into some of the tracks here in Nerang National Park. Do a little survey, see how many trees are down in the back part of the forest here where I like to ride. So I'll just keep everybody posted on how conditions look. So I'm here on one of the first mapped trails riding today according to Trail Forks. This is Pandora. I'm heading east back up toward the fire road. I'm gonna head out towards Explosions. Let's see what that's looking like. The trail surface is definitely soft from all the recent rain, but haven't encountered any major trees blocking the trail just yet. Still on Pandora, and here up closer to the ridgeline, I guess the trail surface is not as soft. Certainly there's a lot more small sticks and debris on the trail, making it not quite as smooth flowing as it was, but it's never been smooth per se. It's amazing how these more natural, hand-built, maintained tracks can handle the moisture compared to the machine-built, heavily used tracks at the front of the national park. Here the leaf litter and natural soil can absorb water more without eroding away. And coming up on the fire road here, crossing the road back onto Pandora, where I'll head up to Explosions. Here's the little detour where the tree came down in the Christmas 2023 storm. This created this big detour. A little bit of a pinch to climb off the original track. Go around this big tree that you see here on my left. That goes all the way down and blocks the original track. But after more than a year, this track's been well worn in. Oh. So this is new. Up and over. So because this is Pandora and not a track maintained by Queensland Parks and Wildlife, I suspect that this new tree down here, unless some of the unknown tree fairies come out here and clear it soon, we're just going to get a new track bypassing it. In the background there you can see where the track comes down from the 2023 bypass, and this little path I'm on, or this line right here, can probably just form a new line back to the track and bypass that tree. You can see where my bike is there. That's where the trail is. So I think easy enough. If nobody clears that tree, we're just gonna ride around it. This one here came down before that storm a little while ago, and because nobody's cleared it, also another bypass line unfortunately being created. All right, this is the start of Explosions coming from the west, the deep part of the park. And as you'll see, this is where now we start seeing a lot of water on the track and yeah, messier conditions, just because there's no kind of natural soil here to absorb the water. So everything just sits on top of this clay and makes a mess of things. Where there's a little bit of grade to the trail, it drains, but otherwise, where it's flat, it's just going to be a ponding bit of a mess. Yeah, that's why I don't like riding these trails when there's any kind of significant rainfall. It's one of the better sections of Explosions. Kind of nice here. Not as much clay exposed, so the trail's dried out quickly, but I'll be right back into some slop here shortly, I'm pretty sure. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, now I've crossed the road at the end of Explosions and I'm on to Bailey's. The descent here out to the top of Elevator, and then I'll carry on from there, maybe all the way out to the end of Bailey's. See how we go. All right, I'm on to the top part of Elevator now, above Bailey's, and yeah, Bailey's between the end of Explosions and here has been cleared. Looks like there was only one tree that needed a chainsaw that had been cut and cleared, either by parks or anonymous tree fairies. But yeah, so let's see how this little climb goes. So I'm getting near the top of the Elevator climb here on Bailey's, and here's a spot where a big tree came down there on my left. I'm riding now on a little bypass. It's started to get worn in. Not sure what the intent of parks is here, whether they're just going to let that tree lie and accept that new reroute of the trail. It's probably just fine. Rather than getting in here to clear that trail or to clear that tree. So we'll see. So far that's the only one on the top section of Elevator here that's actually blocked the trail. All right, now on Bailey's, heading out past the junction, the top of the climb, and hopefully all the way out to Vertigo. And 5 ways is where I'm headed. We'll see what's up here. We go on to Vertigo. So I've come off the end of Vertigo, and now I'm just past the 5 ways intersection. I'm gonna try this Gigi up to the top of Lost World. See what this is like. I like to ride this, climb a couple times a week, so it'd be good to see if this is clear. Can you make it to the top without climbing over anything? Here's what looks to be the first significant little detour on Gigi's. I'm gonna go around this. There's a new track already forming, but all that's just really small branches, all things that can be cut by hand with a very small saw. So hopefully that'll get cleared soon. Here, on the other hand, this is a little bigger tree. You need a chainsaw. Not a very big one though. That one is also pretty manageable by somebody just with a small saw. Doubt parks will come out and clear it because they don't want us on these tracks in general, which is too bad because that's forcing us to create new trails. It's exactly the opposite of the goal. I think I'm on another little detour track. More branches were down there across the original trail. So there's a little bit of a ride around happening. Could barely tell where the trail was in that spot, but it was easy enough to just keep riding through. Oh, the bridge is still here. I made it to the end of Gigi's. Just about the highest point in the national park. Just off to the left there is Terminator, the Terminator Summit. Going to drop onto Lost World. This is the top of Lost World now, and start the descent. See what it has in store. This tree came down well before the storm, so that's nothing new. Dips, always a little how you going here, but pick our way through, and no real change to conditions since before the storm that I can see so far. All pretty normal stuff. Here's the tree. Maybe that leaner is new. kind of lost the trail there. That big root in that tree is definitely making us ride around. Let's have a look at that. This is this log here, this tree that used to be right on the side of the track, and there's a little log roll. You could hop up onto it and ride it all the way to the end. And you can see the trail there. Comes to an abrupt stop where this big tree on the left fell and hit the root ball right in the path of the track. So now there's a new trail. It's going to take shape. Need to go around it here. There's the root ball, and that's back on where the track continues. So this is just about the end of the line for me on Lost World today. I'm not going to drop all the way down to the creek. Instead, I'm just going to bail out onto the fire road at the TNT log, as it's known, and head back to Pack Pines from there. Here's this little bypass that was formed years ago when the tree came down that never got cleared. Well bedded in. And now, last little bit here before the TNT exit. See my log here on the left, and out to the fire road. Let's climb back to Pack Pines.